Okay, welcome back to another Magic the Gathering Online League. This time again with something a little different. We've gone for Abzan, another flavour of black-green that has fallen out of favour in favour of mostly Jund, but you do get some powerful white cards. This is similar to the black-green rock lists I guess I've played before, but you get some, it's essentially the same game plan, but you get some powerful white cards. So yes, as I say, similar idea to the rock deck that we know and love, but you get, instead of Dark Confidant, you've got 4 copies of Stoneforge Mystic. Usually always a 2-for-1 if it hits the battlefield, because you get to search up an equipment, and we've got some powerful equipment to put into play. Sort of the 2 swords and the Batterskull. Stoneforge Mystic obviously banned for a long time, but has been fairly recently unbanned. So that's your sort of other threat apart from the classic Tarmogoyfs. Then you get white also gives you Kaya's Guile. It's a card I'm really liking at the moment, so much so that we're playing 4 in the 75. I love it just because it's so flexible. You get main deck. It's removal for hard to remove creatures. It gives you, white. It gives you tokens that can wield the sword. It gains life against aggressive decks. You've got main deck graveyard hate. Yeah, it does a little bit of everything. So I'm trying out a lot of copies of that. And then you've got the classic 4 Liliana Veils. I'm playing 1 copy of Lingering Souls just because I quite like the card. And then you've got obviously chock full of removal. We've got 5 1-mana removal spells, the Decay and Trophies in the 2-mana slot, and then Maelstrom Pulse in the 3-mana slot. Just reading Destroy Target Permanent is a good line of text to have on cards. And then we've got some grindy cards with Tireless Tracker, Questing Beast, Toski's interesting card at the moment. Then onto the side, you get some cool white sideboard cards. You got Oriole Champion, which is very good against like Shadow, Galactique, which is good against Tron and Control. Got more Kaya's Guiles. Stuck with 2 Pithing Needles. This possibly left over from the days of cascading into the other side of Vrasky Tybalt, but still good card I think. And then we've got Gideon for the more grindy matchups. So without further ado, let's see how Abzan Midrange stacks up at the moment. Just testing a load of decks at the moment, all mid-range stuff. There's a qualifier this Sunday that I'm going to be playing in. May record that. So I'm going to try out Abzan. I do like Kaya's Guile at the moment, so see how it goes. See how it compares to my results with Rock and Jund. And then see how it goes. So if this is something you're enjoying, please do consider liking and subscribing, and let me know in the comments if there's anything you'd like to see going forward. Okay, so we are on the draw here. We've got Push, Mystic and Lily. I've played against this person before, I think. I think they're one of the trophy leaders. If it's a creature deck, I think we're fine. I'm going to keep this. We've got quite a painless mana. Really depends on what we're against. Opponent keeps a hand of 6 cards. Windswept Heath. Okay, so looking like we're going to have a Fatal Push target. Okay, we don't have a Fatal Push target, which is a bit unfortunate, but it's looking like potentially Heliod. Okay, so Tarmogoyf is a reasonable draw. So we're going to play Concealed Courtyard, painless mana, pass the turn. Another good thing about Abzan is you haven't got the Jund painful mana base, so haven't got to fetch shock all the time to get triple black and triple red. Conclave Mentor. So yeah, I was going to go ahead and Fatal Push that. Okay, opponent has only got one land. It does have a Utopia Sprawl on. Okay, Kaya's Guile. Never. I'm never sad to see that. I think we're going to play. I think we're going to play Goyf here. Stoneforge. You know, this gets the clock going, but Stoneforge. We just don't seem like we're going to have time to flash in the equipment. I suppose we could have played the Stoneforge, flashed in the equipment the turn after. If this is Heliod, we're in a bit of trouble. Okay. So opponent got 3 cards in hand. So I think now we need to hold up Kaya's Guile in case my opponent plays. Yes, because if my opponent plays Spike Feeder, gain infinite life, we can't beat that. Okay, so this could be Collected Company end of turn, which would be pretty brutal. Just going to attack him with a Goyf again. If this is Collected Company into like a Spike, well, yeah, we're going to struggle here if this is Collected Company, which I would be surprised if it's not. Yeah. So my opponent Collected Companies. If they just hit Spike Feeder, we can. Okay, we can fight through that. Okay, double Oriole Champion is a little bit different. Okay, so unfortunately this makes black and white tokens. Skyclave Apparition, sure. So opponent's got a bit of everything here. So this is the kind of more mid-rangey hand. Yeah, these Oriole Champions are going to get. Probably should have cast Kaya's Guile in response. Although no, this is fine. If my opponent sacrifices this, I can block an Oriole Champion. So Kaya's Guile. Each opponent sacrifices a creature. Create a token. White, black, green. Okay, so yeah, so I think we're gonna block the Heliod here. And then we're gonna go ahead and Liliana away some creatures. We could double block here, as in block one, block the other. Actually, I think I am going to do that, given that we're in the mid-range game. We want no, actually protecting my Liliana is we are taking a lot of damage though. I think we're just going to block one. This can only block this. We might as well. I'm just going to block here. Take 5. Ooh, we could actually Stoneforge Mystic now. Ooh, that doesn't hit this, unfortunately. That doesn't actually kill anything. So we've got options here. Oh no, we can't do what I was thinking. I was thinking Stoneforge Mystic, get the sword, and then equip it this turn. We can't do that. So we're just going to play out all our cards. So this will turn off Heliod, being a creature. Make my opponent sacrifice. And we're going to play Stoneforge Mystic. Grab an equipment. What equipment shall we get? I think we're going to get Fire Ice here. Could be Feast. No, it's not Feast and Famine because there's no point in getting my opponent to discard cards. We've got Liliana, so it's either Fire and Ice or Feast and Famine. Fire and Ice would start drawing me some cards. Sorry, it's either Fire and Ice or Batterskull. Batterskull would gain me some life, but we're going to be killing this anyway. I think it's just Batterskull. Batterskull. Oh no, it can't block or real champion. But yeah, no point in attacking here. Okay, so dead to Spike Feeder, dead to Walking Ballista. Both of which would make that not matter. Okay. Opponent gets Walking Ballista. Although if they get Walking Ballista, they can't do the thing this turn. Okay. So that can put a counter here, but they haven't got the mana to give it lifelink. So next turn we can... okay, opponent attacking both at Liliana, so we let Liliana go. And then we're going to Maelstrom Pulse the Ballista. Oh, my opponent can sacrifice the Ranger Captain and just win. Oh, no they can't. Okay. So I thought they were going to go for that then. So I think... Yeah, my opponent could have... Trophy was... Yeah, my opponent should have sacrificed the Ranger Captain in upkeep, and I think, and then we couldn't have killed the Ballista. As it is, what do we want to do? So my opponent might just be going for the win. So I think we have to kill the Ballista. So we'll just Maelstrom Pulse the Ballista. My opponent will shoot a couple of creatures. Okay. Okay, so what are we doing here? So my opponent's going to attack with everything, I'd imagine. Okay. So that is lethal damage. We can't trophy anything. We could just block here and then make a Batterskull and then edict my opponent. Or do we Batterskull, gain 4 life? So we could make Batterskull, block the Heliod. If we make Batterskull, we die to a Path to Exile. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna block and then make Batterskull. So block here. Have I done wrong here? So if this gives this lifelink, no, they can't do it in instant speed. Okay, so giving that lifelink is potentially an issue. So we'll put Batterskull into play. Make a token. I guess the trouble is this is just going to end up killing us. Okay. So yeah, opponent got a lot of things. Okay, so we can actually Liliana. Okay, Goyf's a good draw. But I think what we're going to do here, my opponent's got 1 card in hand, so we could play Liliana, make my opponent's, and then trophy this. Yeah, okay, so we're going to play Liliana. And then we'll hold priority. So yeah, make sure I hold priority and trophy this. This way my opponent loses. I mean, if they've got Collected Company in hand, this is bad because my opponent gets a land and then Collected Companies. Okay. This has Vigilance as well, which is nice. Please no Collected Company. Doesn't look like it. I guess I would have done it there. Okay, so we're still dead to Spike Feeder. Or another Ballista now. Okay, there's an Apparition. That's okay. We haven't got anything to kill this. It's indestructible. It's such an annoying line of text to have when you're trying to play black-green. Okay, so we'll draw with Peatland first, see if we can't find anything good. Okay, that's a tracker. Okay, so I think we're going to bash in. And we'll play a Goyf. Opponent just drawing to yeah, this is the trouble. We can grind all we want, but my opponent can just finish the game as soon as they find Spike Feeder or Walking Ballista. They've gone through one Walking Ballista. I'm not sure how many they play. It's another Apparition. A little bit annoying. No cards in my opponent's hand, and they have now got Heliod on the battlefield. That's active. Okay. Yeah, we're not blocking because we gain 4 life when we attack with this anyway. Okay, so tracker into land isn't too bad. Play a land, make a clue. We might as well crack now. No reason why not. We might find Fatal Push. We find Inquisition, which isn't the best draw. So we are crashing in for 4 a turn. Opponent has, I mean, yeah, like I say though, my opponent has draws that just win the game on the spot. Quite a lot of draws actually, of which that I think is one of them. Oh no, not quite. We can just about beat that. Oh, if they're not playing it, that's really good. If my opponent doesn't sack in upkeep, that's, yeah, I'm very surprised my opponent isn't sacrificing this Ballista. We'll play a land because it makes a clue with Tireless Tracker. And we'll sacrifice it, hoping to find something good here. Yeah, Lingering Souls is good. So my opponent not attacking there. So yeah, we'll just play Lingering Souls. And pass the turn. Yeah, we can't really attack is the trouble now, but we can, next turn, if we don't draw anything good, we can put Batterskull on a Spirit and start crashing it in the air. But again, my opponent has lots of draws. That's not one of them again. Okay. So we're grinding well. Trophy. So how many pips do you need for this? As long as your devotion to white is less than 5. So they're going to have it whatever. So I think here, how much is this to equip? Equip 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we can flashback souls. I think that's fine. Does it have vigilance as well? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think we're gonna equip 5 to a creature. Oh, we don't want to tap reflecting pool really. Then we'll attack with both souls. So hits my opponent down to 10. We gain some life. I think we're just going to flashback souls. We can't interact with... If my opponent plays a spike feeder, we can't interact with it. Or can we? So this is a 5. So that's 6. No, I think we're going to hold up trophy. I think holding up trophy is better here. The souls aren't quite lethal next turn. I'm not sure. I don't think we can interact with spike feeder anyway. Okay, opponent not playing anything. Okay, so they are now attacking with this. I'm not sure. What does this smell like? Why on earth would they attack with Arbor Elf? Why on earth would you attack with this? Oh, they can give it lifelink. Is it another creature? Another target creature gains lifelink. So I think we're happy to kill that. I think it's just going to be lifelink. They can put a +1/+1 counter on it. So I think we're just going to block with the spirit here because then we gain some life back. We could trophy the Arbor Elf, but don't think that's that great. Surprised my opponent only wants to gain 1 there. Yeah, not sure what's happening here. Okay, so opponent... Okay. Found something. That's another Heliod. Okay. So do we want to trophy this? I think so. I think we're happy trophying that now. Or we could trophy one of these. We get a creature. I don't think that's worth it. Oh, crikey, we're down on time. Yeah, I think I'm going to trophy the Ranger Captain here. I don't think we can interact with a spike feeder with trophy. Thoughtseize one of the worst draws here. So yeah, we'll just attack in the air. Obviously no point in attacking with tracker. Opponent at 5. We'll flashback souls. And that's it. My opponent obviously has the ability to... Yeah, these souls are really good that they're flying. I mean, they have the ability to just top deck spike feeder. That's just infinite life. I think, yeah, we'll just concede. You know, it's tempting to, you know, run out my opponent's clock, obviously, but that's just, yeah, that's not the kind of thing we want to be doing. That's that's just so tilting. I mean, this has happened to me so many times against this deck. We nearly get there. You know, we've got lethal next. Is this another target creature? Yeah. So my opponent could gain 4 life there. They were on 7, I think. So they could go to 11. We attack for 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, they possibly would have got another draw. But they didn't have many draws at that. That's I hate it when that happens. You know, you grind well and we're getting there, and then my opponent just top deck's the thing that we can't beat into the combo. So, I mean, worth noting we're not dead here. My opponent just gains infinite life, and we have no way of beating infinite life. So, yeah. That's just game over, sadly. I mean, it might be that my opponent didn't have a ballista in hand, or didn't have any more ballistas left, but... Okay, so what... Oh, right, okay, so we want Pithing Needle for this matchup. You can name Ballista or Spike Feeder or Heliod. I think we possibly want Plague Engineer. Galactic we don't want. We definitely want the Unravels. So what don't we like? Thoughtseize is probably fine. Maybe cut a couple of the discard. We saw how grindy that game got. Trophy and Decay are probably fine. What about Kaya's Guile? Kaya's Guile actually was really good there against... Okay, so we definitely want this against Aureoc Champion. Not got much time. So Maelstrom Pulse is probably fine. Liliana's good. The Souls were great there. I think we would just cut some discard, you know. Like a couple of these. We definitely want these in. Do we want even discard? It is a combo, but I think we'll cut a Bloodchief's Thirst. Is Gideon worth it? Do we just submit this? Let's cut a Questing Beast for another Kaya's Guile and go from there. See what happens. Yes. Okay, so we've got double Liliana and we do have Unravel, but we're not doing anything until turn 3. I think we'll... I'm on the fence with this. We haven't got any pressure, but I think we will keep. So it's not the best hand by any stretch, but we're on the play with, you know, a sideboard card and a Liliana, so I don't think it's that bad. What we don't want to see is like a ramp into 2-drop with Veil of Summer backup. So I wouldn't mind finding a Fatal Push or something for that. So the other good thing about Abzan is we get the Triome. So we've got 2 dual colour lands. Tricolour lands. Okay. If this is just Heliod, we're okay. Okay, opponent attacking. Could do without this being Aureoc Champion. Okay, so it's Mentor. So I think we're just going to start jamming Lilianas. Might save Verdant Catacombs for a potential Fatal Push needed later. Play the Godless Shrine. Liliana. Swamp. Yeah, I mean, we're happy to make my opponent sacrifice either of these creatures. Okay. So, opponent obviously not starved of mana. So what are we going to do here? Depends what my opponent plays. Okay, so I think we just cast Toski. I'm a little worried of Veil of Summer. If I Liliana and I get Veil of Summered, I'm in trouble. I guess the other thing I need to be worried about is my opponent untapping Collected Companying into the combo, but I think if that happens... that's a good answer to Toski there. Yeah, this is looking horribly like a Veil of Summer. We haven't drawn many, if any, spells. Ticking up doesn't achieve anything. Okay. So yeah, we need to draw. We desperately need a spell here. Yeah, my opponent's had the answer to Tusky. That's fairly annoying. And now they're going to answer Liliana with this Skyclave. So we're going to leave Verdant Catacombs uncracked here. So yeah, Trophy's not the worst. So we're going to play Blooming Marsh and pass. Holding up effects. Don't know if we want to trophy this Apparition. It does give us a 4/4 beta, so we probably do. Is this Collected Company? Yeah. Okay. So here. Don't think they run any sort of hex-proof things, so I think we're just going to wait. So we'll let my opponent go to attacks, and then we're going to trophy this. Okay, just going to unravel this. No point in taking extra damage. Yeah, so we were going to, if my opponent attacked with everything, we were going to trophy here and then make the 4/4 to block the Aureoc Champion. Utopia Sprawl, sure. Hopefully not another Heliod. Yep, it is. As ever. Yeah, so we're going to trophy this now. Make a 4/4. Yeah, so if my opponent has another Collected Company, again, this is bad, but we can't do much else, I don't think. So now we're looking for Liliana, Kaya's Guile. That doesn't do anything for us, really. We're going to attack. This having it. Oh yeah, why? Why does this have indestructible? It's just so hard to interact with. I've got this decay that would normally kill such problematic permanents. Yeah, I don't think we can afford to. Attack anymore, sadly. Yeah, a lot of my opponents' cards kind of fade the best removal in the format. Unfortunately, we've drawn a lot of land again. We only run 23 in this list. There's no point in attacking now. It's another Collected Company. Yeah. Collected Company into the combo. So I think we can. I don't think we. Yeah, we can't win now. Do I need to be able to do this? I don't think I can get out of this, right? Yep, GG's. That's very annoying. I hate this deck. This is my new hatred, I think. Just because, yeah, like it's just so uninteractable, isn't it? Like there I mean, we drew a lot of lands, but I don't think I necessarily made any mistakes. Maybe the hand was a sketchy keep. That might be the mistake. But it had a hate card in it, and it had 2 copies of Liliana of the Veil. But you know, we dealt with one Heliod. My opponent instantly had another one, and then 2 Collected Companies just gets there. Yeah, this is a really powerful card. Just the indestructible is what's stopping us. If we could have, decayed it, would have been much better. But that's Heliod, I suppose. We'll jump into the next game. Okay, welcome back for round number 2. We are on the draw. We have an interesting hand. It is a 1-lander, but yeah, I think we have to mulligan that. Like, if we draw another land, it's very good. Okay, this is much better. We'll keep this, and we've got a clear bottom in the Batterskull. Gonna need to find another land that generates white mana. So yeah, we either want to draw Inquisition or a white land, I suppose. More threats wouldn't be too bad. Ghost Quarter. Okay, so we know what this is. This is taxes. Okay, so we draw a white land. That's quite good. So let's play Blooming Marsh and pass. So yeah, this will be... it's not Yorion, so this is just plain old mono white death and taxes. Thalia would be annoying. Leonin Arbiter would be annoying. I mean, any of the 2 drops they play are always annoying. That's a Stoneforge Mystic though. Do you want to play that, or do you want to play Courtyard? I think yeah, we'll play the Stoneforge because my opponent might have, what's it called, Leonin Arbiter that will stop us searching with this. So yes, and here we're gonna go and get. I think we're just gonna get Batterskull. Batterskull good here, or yeah, because we're not gonna have much time to equip. So we'll just get Batterskull, and next turn we'll try and flash that in. So we've got a lot of removal spells. No Giver of Runes. Obviously, a flashed in Arbiter into Ghost Quarter is pretty crushing here. Apparition also pretty good. So that was their draw for turn. Attacking with Thalia. Yeah, so we can't play Liliana. Fatal Push is a very good draw. But I think here we're we're happy to just put Batterskull into play. Wouldn't be surprised to see my opponent activate Ether Vial. Okay, sacrificing that. It's fine. Okay, putting in something. Okay, so my opponent has a Stoneforge of their own, and they will fetch up Batterskull. So my opponent knows I have Batterskull. Keeping it at 2. Double Ghost Quarter, so if they've got an Arbiter, that's annoying. If my opponent attacks here, then it's pretty clear they've got an Arbiter. No attack. I mean, if they have an Arbiter, they Wasteland us twice, which is pretty bad. But I think we're going to go for it. Like, we're not winning by not going for it here. Okay, opponent doesn't have an Arbiter. Inquisition's pretty poor. So I think we're just going to attack. Oh, opponent has got Batter Skull, but I can Fatal Push the Batter Skull. I think I'm fine not actually. My opponent will do the same, I should imagine. Here comes Batter Skull. Okay. So it would have been nice to hit another land there really, but yeah, this kind of stonewalls my opponent a little bit. So opponent's got 3 cards in hand. They put this up to 3, so they, okay, yeah, that's just fine. We don't really care about that, I don't think. My opponent looks like they're happy to block. So yeah, we're just going to push Thalia. Oh, they could have Flicker Wisp, which would be really irritating. Yeah, looking like a Flicker Wisp, but can't really do much about that. No, we could have pushed this earlier, but then if my opponent's got another one stuck in hand, I think we're going to get Flicker Wisped here. But at least then Thalia isn't on the battlefield for our turn. Okay, we find another Stoneforge. Would have been nice to find a land. We could Inquisition Goyf, or we could Liliana Edict. Hold on. I just really made an error, didn't I? I completely forgot about Giver of Runes. Okay, I think my opponent is reading that as some sort of big brain play. I think what my opponent is actually doing is saving it in case I block here, and then they can give this protection. So we can either play Liliana and plus, or we could Inquisition and Tarmogoyf, or we could Mystic Tarmogoyf. Sorry, Inquisition Mystic. Don't actually hate that line. Yeah, that's. I think I want an Inquisition. Oh, almost tapped the wrong land. Just try and get the good stuff out of my opponent's hand. Probably should have Mysticked first, because if it's now the Archon, we're in trouble because we can't. They did have a Flicker Wisp. Okay, so they're going to go and bounce Stoneforge Mystic. Oh, they have a path as well. Sure. Let's go and get. We want Swamp, I think. Yeah, that was pretty good stuff for my opponent to have in hand, because now they get to bring the Stoneforge down, get a sword, and then they can attack us with the sword, kill all of our stuff. Yeah, that really not ideal there. What can we do about that? I think we just play our own Stoneforge. We'll go and get Sword of Fire Ice. Yeah, we're just kind of being tempoed out of the game, because my opponent now can kill a lot of our stuff, because Stoneforge now is going to go and get Sword of Fire and Ice, and then they can attack with the Stoneforge. No, they'll put the Sword of Fire and Ice on the Flicker Wisp, attack us, kill one of our Stoneforge Mystics, which is really not ideal. Missing the Kolaghan's Command of Jund in this matchup. Okay, Tech Edge. So what my opponent's got. There's a hard cast Sword of Fire and Ice, which I suppose makes sense. We know they've got nothing else. Yeah, this is not ideal now, because we can't kill this either. Okay, there's no point in blocking this really, because then they'll just kill the other one, and we kind of want to be able to. Oh, we're just in such an awful spot here. We haven't got enough mana to do everything we need. So we could flash in the sword, but we can't kill enough, and this can give it protection anyway. So we're just going to block here. Opponent wipes our board. So, I mean, if we hit we could do with hitting a land now, really. Because then we can Goyf and Kaya's Guile. Toski doesn't really get there. I mean, it blocks this. We can Kaya's Guile. Give this. It's got protection from blue and red, so it wouldn't. There's no real good options here. We just haven't found any land, which is not great. Liliana Sack doesn't do anything. Toski blocks fine, although they just give this protection. Yeah, this is game over, sadly. Yeah, we've kind of drawn the very expensive grindy pieces of our deck. We needed the low to the ground interaction. Because my opponent now just attacks with everything, and then they can give this protection from whatever blocker we decide to put in. What's this? Exile a land card. Sure. Okay, so we need to do this now. Each opponent sacrifices a creature. Create a token. So my opponent's just going to sacrifice the Stoneforge Mystic. Opponent sacrifices the Stoneforge Mystic, gives this protection from black, and then we just die. I think I mean, they might be afraid we have Fatal Push. Playing something. There's an Arbiter. So yeah, they just Ghost Quarter us into oblivion now. Okay, that gets there. Yeah, we just got kind of tied up on mana. My opponent had lots of good stuff. Okay, so what do we want to bring in? Thoughtseize effects are probably fine early. All of our removal's good. I don't think Questing Beast is where we want to be. It's just too expensive, as is Toski, and they put up too many blockers. Plague Engineer is definitely something we want. Gideon probably falls into the too expensive category. Maybe lose a couple of Thoughtseize. We probably don't want that many of them. Bring in my favourite Kaya's Guile, and now do we want a grindy card like Gideon or Toski or Questing Beast? Yeah, Gideon puts up a lot of blockers. It would have been good there. Pithing Needle for the artifact. Ether Vial is interesting, but yeah, I don't think we really want to go there. So Plague Engineer is an interesting one because it kills Thalia and it kills potentially Flicker Wisp. A lot of the other things have 2 toughness. If anyone has any ideas about what deck is really good against Heliod, I'd be all ears. I've really struggled against it. Just because you get into that top deck with Jund, you can't kill the Heliod with Jund or a black-green X deck. You get to that point where you know, you've got them top decking, you're doing what John wants, you're beating down, and then they just top deck the spike feeder, and you can't interact with it in time. Okay, so this is 5 lands, so we're going to mulligan this. It's got a Fatal Push and a Tarmogoyf, but I think we can do better. Yeah, this is better. And then we'll bottom, I think we'll bottom the Swamp. Although paying this mana base sounds pretty good. Yeah, we'll bottom the Swamp. Reflecting Pool is really good here. I think it was Aspiring Spike that started putting those in these 3 colour lists. Especially with a triome, it just means your mana base is pretty good. So my opponent, obviously it's always worth fetching as early as you can against taxes, just for when the Arbiter comes down. Okay, so put the triome into play, and then okay, Tracker is interesting. Play the Goyf. So we've got a decent hand now. We've got, you know, things that make my opponent. We've got removal. We've got a grindy card. Depends what my opponent has. If it's like, well, I don't really know here. Thalia would be annoying. Don't really mind about Arbiter at the moment. Spellskite, sure. Okay. Right. So if we tick down, target the Spellskite, target my opponent. Or we want to play 3 mana's worth of spells here. We either make my opponent sacrifice it with Liliana. Yeah, I think that's the play. Or is it Kaya's Guile in response to the Ether Vial activation? No, I think this is fine. Opponent sacrifices a creature. And then I think we're fine to attack. Liliana ticking up and down again as well if my opponent hasn't got a haste threat. Well, I mean a 1-drop from this. They could have Apparition, which would be annoying, but still potentially a 2-for-1 for us. I do have Giver of Runes, so yeah, that's good for my opponent because they can attack the Liliana. Yeah, this is the scary turn potentially, where we on thin ice. Then attack the Liliana. Yeah, that's pretty annoying. We'd like to find a land, really. That's another Liliana. Yeah, okay, I think we wait now. I think we're just going to Kaya's Guile. Opponent sacrifices. Okay, so we're going to do this now because if this is a Thalia, we're pretty in trouble. So yeah, let's do this. Yeah. So we tap out, but yeah, we really could have done with a land there. That would have been nice. Opponent keeping on 2. Do like taxes, but it is quite frustrating to be played against. Okay, so yeah, that pretty good there. So we really want a land. Fatal Push is good. So we can't kill this Flicker Wisp is the problem. I think we just Blood Chief's Thirst the Spellskite. And then we have a Fatal Push in case my opponent goes after our land or something. And we can Fatal Push a Thalia now. Okay, so opponent doesn't have a 2-drop. in hand. This probably goes up to 3. No, they're keeping it at 2. There's a Ghost Quarter. More of the Skyclaves, sure. Okay, so they have a 5/3 first striker. So I wouldn't mind my opponent Ghost Quartering me here. I mean, we don't want to get got by an Arbiter. So we could do the land, so we could Liliana and push. So we'll tap this for black. Yes. Okay, so that gives us a land. So, okay, so this now can't tap for all our colours. So I think it's more important to get green. I guess that is the problem with Reflecting Pool. Okay. Another push. I think we just play Tracker here. If my opponent has a... Well, we could just hold up, but yeah, I think I like playing Tracker. Like if my opponent... Yeah, because otherwise we'll just have to discard a decent card in the matchup. Okay, opponent got lots of lands. Okay, that's fine for us. This is really good now because now we can just edict away the Giver of Runes. Now we hit the land. So this can destroy lands, which isn't ideal. So, although it does make a clue for Tracker. Have you sacrifice a creature? Yeah, I think we're going to play the land. If they want to destroy our Reflecting Pool. If they destroy the Reflecting Pool, how bad is that for us? We can't cast double black. We've already got a Liliana on the field. No, I think holding this for the land for Liliana is good anyway. We want to keep the Fatal Push. Yeah, no point in letting them just activate their Tectonic Edge for free. Opponent draws land, sure. Okay, that's a Sword of Fire and Ice. So I think we just tick up. Yeah, tick up. We'll discard the land. There's no point in playing it. We just get instantly wastelanded. And then next turn we can equip the sword. We've got an edict effect as well. We've got Fatal Push in hand. Yeah, okay. Okay, opponent finds another land. Kai's Guard's interesting. I think we'll just go ahead and equip. Is that non-basic land? Oh, it is non-basic land. Okay, so we'll keep up push here. We do get to draw a card with this. And this is a 2-turn clock. Any target, choose my opponent. Another Liliana, so we can just tick that up. Get rid of that. And I think we've pretty much won this game now. Not sure. My opponent could find Skyclave Apparition, which would remove my Tireless Tracker. They could find Path to Exile. Again, would remove Tireless Tracker. Oh, we can't cast Kaya's Guile, to be fair. Yeah, so I'm going to tick up now. Okay, opponent has found a 3-drop. Even Mind Sensor. Yeah, okay. Okay, so we don't get to do the damage to my opponent. This is CMC 3, isn't it? Yeah. So yeah, this is the only trouble about reflecting pool. I guess Flicker Wisp does good work here for my opponent. That's my trigger, but again, all of these are just kind of delaying what I think is probably the inevitable. Yeah, I think they had that one sewn up. Okay, so we had good hands there. So it quickly got down to top decking. Do we want to bring in any of these big heavy hitters? Can't be blocked by creatures power 2 or less. They're not running planeswalkers, so I think we'll keep that out. Stoneforge Mystic's a weird one, actually, because if my opponent goes turn 2 Leonin Arbiter, Stoneforge Mystic's pretty rubbish. So I think I'm going to cut one Stoneforge, bring in one Thoughtseize. And yeah, present something like this. Okay, let's see what we get. So yeah, you just kind of want to grind out your opponent, I think, and then yeah, it's the Taxes deck really thrives in turn sort of. It's like 2 through 4, isn't it? And then it kind of attacks, and you can't ever catch up. But this hand is the kind of hand I think is, yeah, we've got lots of good stuff here. We've got Painless Mana, all our colours. Okay, Giver of Runes. So this, I think we have to Inquisition here. Rather, we're going to be killing this anyway. So we just need to try and remove my opponent's scary 2-drops. So my opponent does have a Thalia, so that's okay. So what else did they have in hand? They haven't got much in hand. There's a Path to Exile, but we're not playing any creatures for a while. Another Plains. Stoneforge Mystic's pretty good. We can't kill that either. Yeah. Okay, so another removal spell would be nice. Another Black Clown, sorry. Yes, that's really good, because now we can Blood Chief's Thirst the Giver of Runes, and in response to them making Stoneforge protection from black, Fatal Push. Yeah, that was a really good rip, that Swamp. Okay, so now my opponent has, we know the 4 cards in my opponent's hand. Plains, there's no Ether Vial, so we're going to Thoughtseize now. We can just get both cards out of my opponent's hand. Both the action cards, that is. Okay, so how much do we want to take part? We haven't got any creatures and we are short on lands. I think we're just going to take the equipment here. I think the equipment's going to be scary, especially since we've got another removal spell in hand. We obviously need to get rid of the Batterskull. We've taken not much damage this time. Opponent has got a Silent Clearing in hand, so we wouldn't mind finding another white land. Silent Clearing. They're going to sacrifice it. They are. And that's an Ether Vial. That's the trouble with Ether Vial. Not very good late game. Not the land we want, but we'll take another land. So really want to find a land for this Gideon. Actually, that's fine, because then we can Fatal Push a threat that threatens the Gideon, potentially. There's another land. So we, interesting though, we can't make Gideon a creature. Because they can path it. Well, I mean, we find more Fatal Pushes. We're going to struggle if there's a creature with CMC 3. Okay, we really need, really want to find a white land. Okay, opponent just playing nothing. Cards close to the chest. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so now we can slam Gideon. Go Gideon. Shouldn't have tapped that swamp, really. So we'll start pooping out creatures here. Me and my opponent won't path this, I wouldn't have thought. Okay, nothing doing. Yeah, so until we get the path out of my opponent's hand, we can't turn Gideon into a creature. Another Ether Bar for my opponent, which isn't accomplishing very much for them. I love Gideon out of Zendikar. Okay, so they have a 3-drop. Oh, if this is Skyclave Apparition, that's going to be rubbish. Flicker Wisp. Okay, so that's fine. It's going to come back in at my next end step. We'll cast Fatal Push because it's a good chance to get Revolt. Okay, Kaya's Guile's a good find. Yep, we're happy to find Kaya's Guile there. It's just a removal spell, really. It blocks Flicker Wisp. This is what I mean. If you can get to this stage with no creatures on the opposing side, that's where you really want to be. Opponent doesn't look like they've got much in hand. We're just going to hold on to these. There's no point in value Kaya's Guiling there. Again, also we're not going to be... Yeah, the way we lose this game is for my opponent to sort of play loads of creatures out. And just kill us that way. There's no... We'll save this Batterskull for a later turn. If we need to regas onto the field, if my opponent plays something like a what's the card that exiles all of your creatures? Can't remember. 2 mana from, I think it's from Modern Horizons. Oh, they do have the Apparition. Okay, we find a swamp. So we're just going to Fatal Push now. So we get a 4/4. I could see playing Batterskull now, post combat. Opponent got. Yeah, I'm just going to play the. No, this is lethal in 2 turns anyway. I think, yeah, like I say, if my opponent finds the spell that exiles all of your creatures, Winds of Abandon, that's it. They can overload that, get rid of all of our creatures. We're going to need something to back it up. They've got their own Gideon. Didn't necessarily expect that. So now we're a little bit punished for not putting our Batterskull in, but we'll... Yeah, make my opponent sacrifice a creature and make a token. And then I think we're going to want to attack Gideon. Yeah, that's the kind of card that can get my opponent back into this game. So my opponent can remove 2 of our creatures. So yeah, we're just going all at Gideon here. And then we're going to play the Stoneforge Mystic. Search up a sword. There's nothing that gives protection from white, so here we just want to draw cards. So Sword of Fire and Ice. Could just play it. I don't hate just playing it. Yeah, why not? I mean, my opponent could Apparition it, but they can do that whenever anyway. Okay, opponent just untaps. So this time, this means as well we can sword and flash in Batterskull if we need to. There's Lingering Souls, which is pretty good. So let's put this on. What do we want to put this on? I think something with flying, obviously. Oh yeah, so the Spirit. Yeah, that's nice. There we go. we're just smushing here. 2, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this would be enough. I'm not going to put the stone forge out. And there could be something like, okay, they're pathing that. Okay, opponent got Thalia. So that's not bad for my opponent. They do take 6 damage here. They got something else? They got another path, okay. Yes. Oh, we don't have any more basics, which is fine. Okay. And then we could Lingering Souls, but I think putting this on here is better. And then we have a 3/4 that's able to block Thalia. So this is by no means over, but I think, well, we're definitely ahead. Opponent draws. They could draw something like an Apparition. They can't really attack. I wouldn't have thought. So we'll activate Stone Forge Mystic, put Batter Skull into play. Yeah, my opponent concedes. Okay, so a good win against Taxes there. I think Abzan probably favoured. Not sure. I was torn between 2 builds with this. You know, you either just splash white for Kaya's Guile and Lingering Souls, or you go and then play Dark Confidant, or you play Stoneforge. But Stoneforge been impressive here. Really liked Gideon. That was cool. Okay, so good to get a win there in round 2. See you again for round number 3. Okay, on the play for the next one. This isn't. No, I don't think we keep this. It's got Inquisition. And it's got a Liliana. Well, it's got 4 lands though. Don't know. Let's keep. Actually, changed my mind. It's got fairly Penance mana base. It's got Inquisition on turn 1, which is always something we like. Got all our colours. Okay, so Thoughtseize. I think here we take Thoughtseize. It's Inverter. Yeah, we're gonna take Thoughtseize. It's close. So this is like, yeah, this is the Inverter deck. So we're gonna hopefully get Liliana down and start working on my opponent's hand. Oh, another Thoughtseize is actually probably one of our best draws there. So yeah, this looking to win with Thassa's Oracle and Spores from the Vote, Angel's Grace sort of combo. I could see an argument for taking any of these things. I think we'll take the spoils. Tempting to take Inverter, but then they've still got the spoils kill. I think it's the spoils, yeah. Spoils can search for other combo pieces as well. Okay, then we're going to fetch the Triome and cast Liliana. Get her going to work. Seachrome Coast Talisman. Could have taken the Talisman there, but I mean, stopping the ramp, I think we want to rip the combo pieces out instead. Okay. Yeah, Tracker's a great follow-up, so we'll play Liliana. Plus, we're discarding the sword, I think. Although, I mean, we could discard the land. And no, I think it's the sword. We're not going to be equipping the sword anytime soon. So we know 3 of the cards in my opponent's hand. They can invert it next turn. I guess if my opponent, if they hit the land and find Thassa's Oracle, we're in trouble, potentially. This is another matchup where we like Kaya's Guile, instant speed, remove the graveyard when Inverter of Truth comes down is quite nice. Yeah, okay. So something to be wary of is this card under Shelldock Isle. So if that is a Thassa's Oracle, my opponent can, if they find another black land, they play the Inverter, and they can play Thassa's Oracle from underneath this, and they can play that at instant speed, which I didn't realise. Okay, my opponent discarded their planes. Maelstrom Pulse is interesting. Are we just meant to discard the land and kill Talisman of Dominance, given that my opponent found a land? Discarded a land? Yeah, I think so. So yeah, we're just going to discard our land here. I think this is better than... Okay, they discard Angel's Grace. And we're just going to pulse this. I could see an argument for doing this the other way around, but... Yeah, this takes my opponent off black mana. They've discarded a land, so they're short on lands. Angel's Grace, so they found Spoils of the Vault. They have. What are they spoilsing for? Jace. Okay, so they oh, okay, so this is so annoyingly, yeah, they found exactly another spoils, and then now they can cast shut, and there's going to be a Thassa's Oracle under here. Oh, there's not. Okay, I thought we'd lost that one. What did they name for spoils? Simeon's Spirit Guide. Okay, so obviously a bit of a joker. So Thassa's Oracle, Thassa's Oracle, Thassa's Oracle. Does my opponent not 1 Thassa's Oracle, 2 Thassa's Oracles, 3 Thassa's Oracles? I'm sure my opponent must play 4 Thassa's Oracle. So they're not playing Ad Nauseam. Okay. So yeah, I think that was the right line, taking them off the mana, especially since they discarded the swamp. Okay, so we don't want any fatal pushes or Blood Chief's Thirst. Gallic Teague's interesting. Non-creature spells with X. Non-creature spells with convert mana cost 4 or greater. So they couldn't cast Jace. We want the Kaya's Guiles. We want the Unravel the Ethers, I think. We possibly want Veil of Summers. Pithing Needle doesn't do anything. Don't think we want Trophy. I think Souls is too slow. Possibly Questing Beast as well. Don't think they have any sort of transformational sideboard. So I think we're cutting it down to the bare bones. Bringing in all these. Gallic Teague a 2/2. Yeah. Stop them searching. Exile their graveyard. Exiling their graveyard kind of helps them. Pithing Needle. What are they running for Pithing Needle? Nope, nothing. Don't think. Trophy could hit the Unlife, I suppose, or the Inverter if we need to, or the Jace. Actually, yeah. Okay, I'm sold on Trophy. So yeah, Veil of Summer for their discard spells. This is probably fine. Okay, so yeah, Unravel Ether for their ramp artifacts / the enchantment for Phyrexian Unlife. So I don't think we want to keep this. Oh, although to be fair, the Unravel would also do a number on a Leyline of Sanctity. We're going to keep this, and then my opponent's going to reveal Leyline of Sanctity, and we'll be sad. No, goes to their upkeep. Serum Visions, sure. So yeah, discard spells, obviously great. We are going to need some pressure. Puts one on top. Okay, Liliana's good. So Inquisition into Thoughtseize into Liliana is... yeah, that's a really good draw. Okay, so we're just going to take all of the combo pieces out of my opponent's deck. So start with Spoils. Then next turn we'll take the Unlife. I would imagine there's a Prism coming here. Yeah, took the Spoils because they could cast Spoils off Pentab Prism if they wanted. Don't want to find any more of those really. So we'll Thoughtseize. Okay, so they've got Unlife and Oracle. Can this... oh, they can make white mana. Yeah, we're just going to take the Unlife. Pass the turn. So we know 3 of the cards of my opponent's deck. They play the Thassa's Oracle. They have to put one on top. There's an island. Go and get the Triome. Okay, play the Courtyard, and then we're slamming Lily, but I'm not sure. We could either Edict my opponent, but I think we're just ticking up forever now. The fewer cards in my opponent's hand, the better. I'm going to get rid of a sword. Sad that we don't have any creatures to put it on. Did we take out... yeah, we took out Questing Beast. That wouldn't have actually been too bad here. Opponent ditches another Thassa's Oracle, so we know what they've got in hand. Okay, finding Catacombs isn't really ideal, so we'll tick up. Get rid of the swamp. Opponent ditches the land, and then we're just going to play out the sword. I guess we should play the land really, but we'll keep it uncracked for Tireless Tracker. Next turn we probably Edict. Well, maybe we don't. Like this, we're just happy getting cards out of my opponent's hand. Yeah, like Angel's Grace, like if we Edicted there, this is never threatening our Liliana really. Okay, so now we probably Edict. Yeah, I can see Edicting now. Trophy's reasonable as well. I guess we could have trophied this. Yeah, could have trophied the Oracle and ticked up. Maybe that was better, because we're going to be discarding anyway. Veil of Summer's okay. No, I think we get rid of Veil actually. Yeah, because if my opponent finds Jace, then we want to keep the trophy for it. Serum Visions. So I think we might trophy now if my opponent puts any cards on top. 2 cards on the bottom. Okay. Spoils. Okay. So they're risking it to go and find a card. They got the inverter. Okay, so my opponent puts these cards on top of their library. So this is where Kaya's Guile would be insane. Probably should have trophied this in response to the trigger, actually. Okay, so opponent got 0 cards in hand. Am I just going to... So they haven't got any lands in graveyard. And this is a 6/6. So I think we're just going to trophy this now. There's no Jace in their library. Yeah, so we're going to want a threat, really. Tracker's probably my best draw. I'll play that. Haven't found any creatures. Opponent draws. So they're finding all gas. There's an Oracle. So we know there's 2 Oracles in my opponent's deck. I think we're just going to Edict that. Find a land. Yeah, there's no point in going for the ultimate, really. This is pretty much Liliana versus the world. So my opponent did get a Scry. Serum Visions. So they can't really keep any cards in hand. Yeah, we're yes, they have bottom topped. Then Phyrexian Unlife. Okay. Okay, Kaya's Guile. So we'll uptick Lily. Ditch the courtyard. Don't know what this is going to be able to do. We can entwine it, but not sure that's going to matter. Spoils. So they can spoils for Thassa's Oracle. So we want to keep Kaya's Guile up here. Oh no, they can do it any. Yeah, okay, so that just wins because they've hold on. So my opponent's going for the Thassa's Oracle. They've got 0 cards. So what we do is we let this resolve, and it's equal to the devotion. So just in case there's another inverter, do we want to fully entwine? I think so. I think we're just going to go for everything here. Yeah, we've gotten a bit fortunate here because my opponent didn't find it. If they'd found it oh, hold on. Oh no, this is fine. So we go Kaya's Guile, entwine. And I think this wins. I think my opponent sacrifices this. They've got 0 devotion to blue. This triggers, and they don't win the game. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so yeah, if my opponent's Thassa's Oracle had been on the bottom of their library, they would have won. But we get there with Kaya's Guile. I mean, any removal spell would have done it. But yeah, there we go. Good to get another win. So we're through 2-1 with Abzan. See you for the next round. Okay, welcome back for round number 4. We've won the die roll. This really depends on what we're against. I think we're going to keep. We've got lots of disruption. Got all our colours. No reason not to play basic swamp here in case we're against a very aggressive deck like Burn. Okay, so it's goblins. So I think we're okay against goblins. Could take the land, but I don't think that's right. Mugwash Marshal is a little bit annoying, but these conspicuous snoops are the real problems. So we'll take one of those. Next turn we're going to Thoughtseize. Don't know what my opponent will play. They may find a 1-drop. They're playing the Agadeem's Awakening, or the Agadeem Undercrypt. Okay, so we don't find a threat, which is a little bit annoying. So I'm going to Thoughtseize my opponent. Okay, so here we just take the Ringleader. No question really, it just grinds so well. Yeah, just going to take the Ringleader and play a land and pass. So yeah, this can essentially draw. It can draw 4 cards for your opponent. Okay, so they've played the War Marshal. So we don't have to. My opponent may play Blood Moon after sideboarding. Okay, Blood Chief's Thirst. No point in Blood Chief's thirsting here. You know, this dies next turn anyway, and not really in for just killing a token. Oh yeah. Okay, my opponent just deciding to pay the echo cost. I've never actually seen that done, I don't think. How much do we need to? We're only taking 2. I think this is fine. Save our removal for the heavy hitters that are to come. We'll go and get. Is it Temple Garden? Yeah, we'll get Temple Garden. Okay, Goif's what we wanted to see there, really. And this is why, yeah, killing a goblin was not a good idea. We can draw, you know, our threats of our own, and they generally outsize goblins. Okay, so opponent has. Okay, so there's the Snoop. Sling Gang coming from my opponent. So we're going to kill the Snoop here. I think. Just go ahead and Fatal Push. Okay, opponent looks like they got their. Is that going to be enough? Yeah, sadly that is going to be enough to kill my Tarmogoyf. Okay, so a bit more dicey now that my opponent's got a lot of cards in hand, but we've got some very good draws. Trophy. Trophy's like okay. We could trophy this to get rid of the Sling Gang Lieutenant. Actually, Sling Gang Lieutenant is really painful. Yeah, I think we're just going to trophy this. Yeah, I think that's fine. Is my opponent searching? Yes, okay, so that's fine. It gives my opponent an extra mana, which is a little bad. I suppose they can Boggart Harbinger to search up a creature. Okay, Goblin Matron is annoying. What are they putting into their hand? They're putting a Snoop into their hand. Okay, so they're going for the combo next turn. Which is Harbinger put am I going to decay now? No, I think we want to just Bloodchief's Thirst this so we can hold up instant speed abrupt decay. Okay, another land's not ideal. Okay, so that kind of shuts down the combo. We'll hold on to a land for the sake of Tireless Tracker. We need to, yeah, we just need to find Tarmogoyf or any of our big creatures. Sling Gang's not great. So we did shuffle that away, so my opponent has found another one. So it, yeah, what does it sacrifice a goblin to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's probably won my opponent the game. So we could decay here, but my opponent just sacks it. I think we have to though. Can't kill the Sling Gang with did my opponent just let that resolve? Okay. Okay, Fatal Push is good. So my opponent does it now. Yeah, okay, so have they got any instant speed stuff? Don't think so. Oh, we definitely want to do it now, I think. Godless Shrine. And then Fatal Push the Sling Gang. So that's a good draw. Okay, so we get a 6, and there's 4 creatures on the battlefield. Yeah, Mogwash always good there. We get a okay, yeah, we get a 5. Not really sure what I can draw now. Kaya's Guile would keep me in it for a little bit. Possibly, yeah. See what my opponent finds though. It's a Harbinger. Probably putting something really grindy on the top. Oh, it's another Sling Gang. That makes sense. So now I don't think we can win. Yep. Okay. So the trouble there was we just never found a threat. You know, and my opponent could attack freely in, and those 2 damage from the goblins did add up in the end. So I think we're gonna. This is a matchup for Aureok Champion. Not a matchup for Galatea. Definitely a matchup for Kaya's Guile, Plague Engineer. Don't think we want that number of Thought Seizes. Don't think. They do run Thought Seize post board, but don't think that's a reason to bring in Veil of Summer. They are quite mid-rangey, so we could consider Gideon. Anything that removes a creature's good. Yeah, I think we'll take another Inquisition out. The question is, do you want to take another Inquisition out to bring Gideon in? Don't think so. I think this is probably fine. Okay, so we've got some fairly potent sideboard cards. Yeah, this will do. So our plan here is to just yeah, fetch as sort of painlessly as we can, and then just start dropping Tarmogoyfs. Okay, opponent hasn't got anything of note, so go and get the Triome. Okay, flats. We do have to be a bit wary of Blood Moon, so I'm going to go and get a swamp, I think, here. Yeah, swamp. Yeah. They sometimes bring in Blood Moon. Like their mana base isn't the best, but it's mostly red. I think they can splash for black. Okay, that's a Mog War Marshal, so that lines up fairly well against our Liliana. Tireless Tracker. So we're going to want to use all my mana this turn. If my opponent wants to double block here, I think that's fine. Okay, so I think now we... Oh no, that's fine, they're not double blocking. So... so now we'll just play the Tarmogoyf and hope my opponent doesn't Blood Moon us. It's not a Blood Moon, it's a Munitions Expert. So yeah, we're going to push this in response. Because then the Goyf doesn't die, which is good. Opponent has a land, but now we have two rather large Tarmogoyfs. Ooh, Maelstrom Pulse. I think we want to save that though. Like, if my opponent may block here. They're not blocking. So does that mean there could be a Sling Gang Lieutenant in my future? We did miss out on 2 damage, but that's not necessarily a reason. I think maybe we just play Liliana. Liliana Edict. Or we just play a Goyf or a Tracker. So, yeah, Sling Gang would be very annoying. I think we're just going to play another Goyf. That probably should have been a Tracker, actually. But yeah, 3 of a kind Goyfs. Make sure I don't target them by accident with my Maelstrom Pulse. That would be disaster. Okay, opponent plays the Snoop. So drawing a land. So if we pulse the Snoop, my opponent has to chump. I think it's worth doing. It would be really sad to see the combo on the top of my opponent's deck. So if we pulse these, the opponent has to chump with the Snoop. That's it, yeah. Opponent has to chump here. So you know there's a land on top of my opponent's deck. Don't think there's anything that gets them out of this. Sling Gang would be annoying. Yeah, it is Sling Gang. Okay. Okay, so Liliana just win. Oh no, because they can sacrifice creatures. Or did we just Tracker? No, I think we're just slamming Lily. That might just win. Yeah, I think that just wins. Yeah. Okay, so we get there game 2. So Liliana could be a potential cut. Yeah, you don't really want to see that many Lilianas. I think we'll swap out one Liliana for a Gideon on the play. I mean, it is more expensive, I suppose, but that's probably a mistake. Okay, yeah, that sounds good. Inquisition into Stoneforge Mystic. We've got the Batterskull, so we can go and get a sword. We're kind of lacking cheap removal, but didn't really want to see another land either. But Inquisition. Okay, my opponent only got one goblin in hand, so they're gonna have to wait a long time to cast that Kiki-Jiki, but it is part of the combo. Another Ether Vial. Ooh, that's going to be a juicy Maelstrom Pulse target potentially. Toski's not bad. I think we're going to preserve our life total and just fetch us a forest here and play around Blood Moon. So yeah, we'll go and get the, I think it might be Sword of, no, it's Fire and Ice. It's usually Fire and Ice. Okay, the question now is, are we Maelstrom pulsing these Ether Vials? My opponent didn't use either Ether Vial. Got a Relic as well. Mountain. How much do we care about pulsing these? I don't think we do. I think we just want to get the threats down. So we want to fetch basics, really. I mean, is it right that we oh no, we play Batterskull and then we play Toski. Play Batterskull, play Toski, and then let's draw. It's not got haste, but we will draw 2 cards. Let's say Maya, so we didn't know about that one. So we know the exact contents of my opponent's hand. Okay, so we'll activate Stoneforge, put Batterskull into play, and then I think it's correct to just go and fetch the swamp. Like we could be cheesed. I can see us being cheesed out by Blood Moon here, which is not good. Although that, I guess that could have, yeah, that should have gone and got the tri-land. Right, so we've got some decisions here. We know the 2 cards in my opponent's hand, so we could play Toski, draw 2 cards, and then, I mean, then we do lose if my opponent top decks. Oh no, Conspicuous Snoop is fine. Conspicuous Snoop is only a problem if it's on the, if Kiki-Jiki's on the top, right? Yeah, so that's okay. My opponent can play Kiki-Jiki next turn anyway, so we might want to pulse that. So, yeah, let's just play out the Tomb. Play Toski here. Yeah, I was thinking that Kiki-Jiki somehow comboed with Conspicuous Snoop on the battlefield, but it doesn't. Kiki-Jiki has to be on the top of the deck. Okay, so we're going to draw 2 cards from Toski here. Yeah, Kaya's Guile, we'll take that. Double Kaya's Guile. Toski coming into play for the first time we've seen it this league, but it's drawing us 2 cards. Opponent needs something pretty spectacular here, I suppose. Yeah, so they could find. Okay, they're finding 2-drop. Oh, it is Snoop. Oh, does that just win? Oh, I think that might just win. No. Because I think my opponent can do Boggart Harbinger, get Kiki Jiki on top. But they can't give it haste. Wait, they needed to save this, right? Oh no, this does combo. Because my opponent can Harbinger, search for Kiki Jiki, make infinite goblins, and then Harbinger the Sling Gang Lieutenant. Oh, that's really annoying. This has happened again. It happened with Heliod earlier. Maybe we shouldn't have been so greedy. We should have pulsed these, because then my opponent finds it. Does it then matter? I guess we make my opponent show us it, because we haven't actually seen this yet. It's in case they sided out all of their Harbingers, but I can't see that they did. Ah, that's so annoying. Yeah, so my opponent drew from that, and it was the one draw they had to get out of it. I think, looking back, Toski was possibly very greedy. We probably should have just pulsed these. So if we pulse these, my opponent draws in response, flashes in the Snoop. Yeah, we're dead. Yeah, that's a real shame there. So my opponent had 2 draws, I think, and they had to be exactly conspicuous Snoop Harbinger. Yeah, I think we played fine. I think we just got very unlucky there. Maybe we should have pulsed these, but I'm not sure it would have mattered. My opponent draws instant speed with Relic of Progenitus, flash in the Goblin, and then they didn't have the Harbinger, I don't think. So yeah, I think we were fine. Oh, these would have died. They flashed that in, and then they could have just played the Harbinger. Yeah, I don't think there's any way out of my opponent just top decking the combo. Annoying, because we were doing quite well, but there we go. See you back for round number 5. Okay, round number 5, playing for the 3 and 2. We've got a reasonable hand, actually. We're going to keep this. Unfortunately, it doesn't have green mana, but we've got Inquisition into Stoneforge Mystic. Stoneforge Mystics are different arts, which is a bit annoying, but okay, so Courtyard, Inquisition, my opponent. It's Lurus Jund. Okay, so they can't cast their red and 6 currently. They've got so many ways of killing our creatures. It might just be Lurus. Yeah, I think it's just Lurus, because that can buy back red and 6 anyway. And then yeah, we're going to slam Stoneforges. It could be Shadow, but probably not. Okay, they get Stomping Ground. Yeah, Seal of Fire, so that will kill our Stoneforge Mystic. Unless we Thoughtseize. Yeah, I might as well Thoughtseize here. There's, but Stoneforge Mystic just instantly dies to Seal of Fire. Is that a Liliana of the Veil? Yeah. So I think we're more scared of Liliana of the Veil than we are of Ren and 6. at this, especially at this present moment. Opponent doesn't find the land for Renin 6. We could do with the land, really. Okay, we don't find it, but we are going to just play this. It is a 2 for 1. Cycles Baron more. Okay, so Renin 6 could be a problem there, because that means my opponent can draw 2 cards a turn. What are we getting? So I think we'll just get Batterskull. We're not going to be equipping anytime soon. Okay, my opponent missed the land as well. Ugh. Well, we just play another Stoneforge. Go and get the other sword. Opponent's going to push, which is fine. Bit surprised they push and not bolt there. This is the trouble with Stoneforge Mystic. You end up with a lot of equipment. When you naturally draw the equipment, it's pretty bad. Land. Ah, Blooming Marsh, that's good. Okay, so the fact that my opponent used push and not bolt means that we can now cast Tarmogoyf. I mean, they may have found another removal spell. Another push, terminate. Doesn't look like it though. Liliana would be brutal here. Okay, they found Bloodchief's Thirst. Sure. Fetch land would be good. Well, that's fine. I mean, we still make a clue. Yeah, opponent does have the lightning bolt. I did forget about that, but we have to get through that at some point. And this is essentially a 2 for 1. Thoughtseize? Yeah, Inquisition probably takes Kaya's Guile. I mean, we're not far off hard casting Batterskull. They can't take Batterskull anyway. Yeah, it takes Kaya's Guile. Traverse, probably for a land. Indeed. Okay. So they're going to get Renin 6 back next turn. No, they're not. Unless they found another one, of course. Yeah, double Renin 6. So we'll get the Kolaghan's Command out of there. And then I think we'll just... Well, if they find another discard spell... So we could play a sword and then equip it next turn if we find a creature. Or we could just... No, I think I'm just going to draw a card at the end of my opponent's turn. Yeah, because my opponent does start drawing 2 cards a turn now. Barrenmoor, cycles Barrenmoor. Yeah, into a land. Okay. Crack a clue. Okay, Liliana's not bad. Okay, so we get the last 2 cards out of my opponent's hand. Play Liliana and tick up. So we're going to have to get rid of a sword, get rid of Feast and Famine. Fire Ice is just what we want here. Top decking a land is fine because we get to play Batterskull. Yeah, opponent drawing 2 cards a turn, which is pretty good for them. Okay, so my opponent not activating their bauble rather wisely. See what we're drawing. Ugh, Thoughtseize. So we'll discard the Thoughtseize. We'll just play the sword. Opponent gonna end this turn having seen 3 cards. This deck grinds really well, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay, so what have they found? Thoughtseize. Oh, they Thoughtseize away our Batterskull, which is not ideal. Ugh. We have not drawn well here. We'll play the land and we'll save it for... Oh, Tracker's dead, isn't it? Oh, they find a trophy as well. We're really in the wars today with this. You know, my opponent's found some really good stuff there. And now they're on the verge of ultimating their Wrenn and 6. And they're drawing 2 cards a turn. And they find a Goyf. So we need a lot of stuff here. Kaya's Guile would be good. That's a Stoneforge that cannot equip to anything. I guess we play it anyway, see what my opponent does. No equipment to search for. Equip here. Yeah, there's an ultimate from Wrenn and 6. Oh, they can just... Oh, they've got another Wrenn and 6 as well. That's rough. That's a 7/8. So this is going to fatal push my thing. So yeah, Kaya's Guile is good here. We get our own fatal push. But my opponent is going to fatal push my Stoneforge. Slash Colligan's command. Okay, so that's not the worst. At least we drew the fatal push. But that is a good point. My opponent can just Colligan's command me every turn. Yeah, I don't think this is winnable now. Is there anything we can play? I guess we could draw Trophy or Abrupt Decay to kill this Wrenn and 6. Yep, that's game over. God, we got done in there by a sort of new Lurity type Jund. Okay, so we want... so we're going to bring in the Aureok Champions, Gideon, Kaya's Guiles. We're going to take out all of the discard. We've got Veil of Summer. That's 60. What is there anything we'd like to bring in? Pithing Needle. I don't think it's necessarily better than any of this. I don't think Feast and Famine's that great. Oh, Protection for Black and Green is probably relevant. Okay, let's just go with that. Don't think we want Plague Engineer. Doubt they're running Seasoned Pyromancer. Yeah, I mean we'll keep. We don't want to really mulligan in this matchup. Obviously, it's not one of those where you should never mulligan, but yeah. So we'll play the fetch land and pass. This way we can fatal push on turn 1 if we need to, but I can't see it's needing to. Opponent left in discard. They have. Probably takes Lily. Takes the Stoneforge. Okay, guess that's a 2 for 1. Just gonna get the Triome. Okay, Trophy not too bad. We'll play the Goyf. Kills Wrenn and 6 if nothing else. So we are going to want to find a land. Like I would not be disappointed to see land. Another Inquisition. Takes Lily, not unexpected. We just can't seem to hit our lands consistently at the moment. Either hitting too many or too few. But I mean, another removal spell isn't the worst in this matchup. Okay, opponent looked at themselves with the Warble, so they saw something they didn't want and shuffled it away. Lurus would be bad. I might just trophy a Lurus straight away. Not ideal because it gives them a even more advantage from the Lurus. Clothis, right. Okay, can't do anything against Clothis. Land, please. We do hit a land. Unfortunately, it's not really something we can use at the moment. I think we'll just play that tapped. Yeah. Opponent got 4 cards in hand. They've got this Clothis that, again, we can't interact with. Does gain my opponent life. Seal of Fire, sure. Goyf, okay. So, Fatal Push the Goyf. I mean, our Goyf is getting pretty large. Questing Beast is actually quite a nice draw. So this Goyf is not quite lethal next turn. Because of Clothis. Targeting their own Warble. Not sure why they target that. Oh, making our Goyf smaller, sure. Okay, so we have another Fatal Push. Okay, there's a land, so that is Questing Beast time. It has haste and vigilance. Those are 2 keywords it does have. Okay, so our kind of grinding power showing there. We didn't really see anything to make us want to change anything, I don't think, so we'll just run it back. This is for all the marbles, the difference between cashing the league and not. So see what kind of hand we get. Let's have a decent one, please. What do we see? I enjoyed Gideon. Right, so I mean this has got decent mana. It's got only 2 lands. We are going to need another one. I think it's a keep. I think it's just about a keep. We need to hit lands. 2 lands off the top is perfect. Okay, Liliana. That's a good card in the matchup, but not really what we wanted to see, but we'll take it. Liliana turn 3 edicting or discarding a souls would be good. Yeah, we've got a hand chock full of good stuff. We just need to find the lands. Ooh, my opponent missing a land, unless they just accidentally auto pass through their turn, which may have happened. We really want to hit a land. We do. Okay, so we're going to play a Reflecting Pool. Probably not going to want to use this Assassin's Trophy, but if they find a land and then Brennan 6, we will. Okay, that's their draw for turn. Okay, my opponent does miss a land. Opponent missed lots of land drops. Okay, are we expecting Blood Moon, really? Don't think so. So we're going to go Liliana. Yeah, this is a nice progression here. Tick this up. We'll discard a souls for value. So much value. Opponent discards a Tarmogoyf. I guess that's not really going to get there against a Liliana. Opponent, do they hit the land? They do hit the land. So if this is Renin 6, Questing Beast going to be an absolute beast. Yeah. Okay. I mean, we're ahead because my opponent didn't ever find any lands, but this is just going to be insane. Okay. They know we're drawing a Blooming Marsh, but we'll play the land first. Tick up. We'll get rid of that Blooming Marsh. We've got green here and green here. Let's just make sure we've read this correctly. Whenever Questing Beast deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to target Planeswalker. Amazing. Yeah, I think we're going to preserve our life total. Just go and grab a swamp. And then we'll play this massive Questing Beast. An absolute godsend in this matchup. Attack, I have the fire. I would like to place this trigger on the stack, please. It's not even a May ability. I mean, that maybe that was a little loose. Like, it allows my opponent to now play Liliana and Edict this, but I mean, it's already been a kind of 2-for-1. My Liliana's at 5. Yeah, maybe we got a bit a bit hasty there, but I think that's fine. Are we ticking up? Yeah, I think so. Tick up. I just don't think we're going to have time for this sword. We'll play the Goyf. We'll flashback Lingering Souls. Obviously, yeah, obviously you can't Maelstrom Pulse to Liliana because that's not great. So Lurrus is possibly my opponent's best draw. We'll discard Trophy. Opponent could have something like Colligan's Command. So yeah, we're not as ahead now. Obviously, my opponent's got lots of cards in hand. Tar fires the Liliana. Bloodchief's Thirst the Goyf. They've got a lot of things. Okay, so we'll attack Liliana. I think we'll tick up, but what are we going to discard? I think it's just push. I think we're going to want to save. Maelstrom Pulse is just so much more flexible, and Liliana kills a creature anyway. We get rid of a Tarmogoyf out of my opponent's hand. Opponent could be playing Croxer. That's a Lurrus. Okay, so we just Edict that. We get to keep Maelstrom Pulse in hand as well. Did they target themselves? No, they targeted me. Surprised they didn't scry. Okay, so we find a land. Edict my opponent. So this game hasn't turned out as far ahead. This sometimes happens in the grindy matches where an opponent doesn't find lands. If you can't really capitalise on it, maybe playing the Questing Beast was wrong. You know, it did kill Renin 6, I suppose, and the tokens wouldn't have. But yeah. But we could have had time to deal with Renin 6 potentially. Although my opponent was short on land, so killing the thing that gets them back all their lands is obviously good. Okay, so my opponent's sacrificing. We're saving this hand in hand for either an opposing Liliana plus or my own Liliana plus next turn if we apply something else you want to keep, or the ever-present potential to draw Tireless Tracker. Souls is getting the job done here. Opponent is drawing 2 cards. Okay, so they get to traverse. They probably traverse for Lurus. But we can keep Edicting. Okay, they traverse for Cloth. That's quite cool that you can traverse for Clothis. Because that's a problem. Because that gains as much life as they lose each turn. That's cool. I like that a lot. I think that's quite cool. Yeah, so what are we drawing to now? So we've got 8 turns to get past this Clothis, so like a Goyf would be nice. So my opponent found 5 mana. What? It's Gargaroth. Ah, Tracker, that's a great draw. Edict my opponent. Play the Tracker. Did not expect Elder Gargaroth out of my opponent's deck, that's for sure. I guess Traverse for Gargaroth puts fear into the heart of your opponent. I think we might just crack this now to save this from... So normally you do this at instant speed. It saves you from discard. But here, I'm off... Ah, Kaisgar's good. Oh yeah, we'll attack with everything. So here, we're doing it in case my opponent top decks Kolaghan's Command. We don't want to lose my Tracker, essentially. So we've got lethal on board. This Liliana's been really, really good. Okay, opponent just scoops it up. So I'm getting so many 3-2s on this channel. It's I guess I should be grateful for the 3-2s. Certainly better than anything worse. But really enjoyed the deck, actually. Thought it was really good fun. I just don't know about these Stoneforge Mystics. Like, did they ever... I don't know. They're a horrible top deck quite a lot. Well, are they? Yeah. I don't know. I'd quite like to see what it was like replacing these with Dark Confidants. Don't know. I just never found the kind of time to really appreciate them. Don't know if it's just me. Please do let me know if you have a different opinion. I liked Kaisgar. I've been raving about that for a bit. And I liked Gideon out of the side. Is it better than just having Rock? What changes? So Rock doesn't get Souls or the Guile. Rock is really missing a command type effect, one of these flexible ones. And you don't get Aureok Champion, which we didn't actually see this league, to be fair. And you don't get Gideon. Could you play what other 4 mana planeswalkers could you play in Gideon's spot for Rock? There's Nissa Vital Force, but that's 5 mana. I guess there's some of the black Liliana. It's a 4 mana one of those, but yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Please do let me know if you did. Please think about liking and subscribing. And yeah, I hope to catch you for the next video. Cheers.